Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hey, We're Talking. And everybody's got a drink. If you're not watching us on YouTube, everybody's got a drink. I've got Dogfish Head 90-minute IPA. Bob, what are you drinking?
Bell's Winter White Ale.
We had that. I've had that before.
Yeah, you know what? I've got in my fridge, I actually gave away some beer to some coworkers.
Okay.
Because we're all in craft beer. And I've got so much beer in my mini fridge, and it's like leftover of this, leftover of that. So I just brought in a random 6-pack, and I told everybody, pick what you want out of there. They're all different. Pick what you want. And I'm still kind of just dwindling down a bunch of different things in my beer fridge. So this was one left over, so I'm like, I might as well drink it.
Nice. And Derek, of course, he's the gentleman of the group here. And what are you drinking?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm smoking a pipe with pipe tobacco, but I had a bottle of bourbon that I had left in here from Dagner Week, and I never brought it. It's called Colonel E.H. Taylor's Small Batch. It's a nice little bourbon, 50%. It's very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful. Yeah. Looks beautiful in the cup. And you have to see, Derek, you have to sometimes paint a picture with words because some people are just listening to this on a podcast.
With a nice golden brown color swirls around lovely legs on the side of the glass.
It looks kind of caramel.
Golden caramel color and the bouquet, it opens up with a little swirl. Nice brown sugar and oak notes. Shall I continue on or Happy Easter?
Yes. Go ahead, Bob. What were you going to say?
No, I just said that sounds very good, man.
It does sound good, but I was like,
it sounds good, but who knows?
Especially with Derek's deeping, his voice gets a little deeper. So it made it sound well. Yeah. If you guys want to advertise on the show, let us know.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we are, it is the week of Easter that we are currently in here on Hey, We're Talking. So we're going to talk a little bit of Easter stuff. We're going to, you know how it is on this show. We have an idea of what we're going to talk about, but there's a very good chance that somewhere along the way we're going off the rails. So we'll see what happens here. But we were going to talk specifically about the Easter Bunny, and so I want to give a little background. Now, let me just tell you, I studied for this, but my studying was solely based on Wikipedia. So if I get anything wrong, just know it's all Wikipedia's fault. Okay? Bob, are you okay with that?
Yeah, sounds good. I'm not the details guy right now, so I'm like, you guys have this. This is kind of nice.
Yeah, Bob has been very busy, so some of us had to pretend that we actually care about the show and do some research. So here we go. So the Easter Bunny. I actually have notes. Look at this. I have notes, man. I have notes. I got a lot of notes. So the Easter Bunny, here's the thing that I found interesting as I was reading about this. Now, I've grown up in church and been a part of church for all my life. And I can remember people, just as a lot of religious people would get upset about Halloween, there was a lot of people that would get upset about Easter and the Easter Bunny. That's not very good. And they'd get all upset about it. And as you read about why the Easter Bunny is even a part of Easter, you just go, boy, you people are stupid. The Easter Bunny actually started with the German Lutherans. They also called it the Easter Hare. That sounds very much more German, doesn't it? This is time for the Easter Hare. And they would call it that. So anyway, but nice. The Easter Bunny was basically like the version of Santa Claus because he would decide if the kids were good or bad. And then they would get, candy and eggs and all this kind of stuff. And the funny thing is, I'm going to wrap this up really quickly so that Derek can jump in and give his 2 cents because he might have a totally different take. But the Orthodox churches back then, they would abstain from eggs during Lent. So that the eggs would not spoil, they had to boil them or roast them. And there you go. That's how we get the hard-boiled eggs at Easter. Isn't that exciting?
And disgusting.
And disgusting, too, yes. But the whole point of Easter was technically a religious thing. And everybody always says it takes away from the meaning of Christ. But if you look deeper into it, the reason that they did what they did was actually part of their tradition about Christianity and their, teaching about Christ. So, Derek, is that what you got out of it, or what did you get?
I got an alternate take. I mean, the eggs thing is right on. And I gotta say, being nearly 37 years old, I'm kind of ashamed of myself. I'm kind of a research, and I like to know what things are about. I never knew. I never like looked into the Easter Bunny or the eggs.
No.
And Easter is supposedly like the most important Christian holiday, and me being a Christian, I'm like, okay, I guess we have rabbits, and I guess we have eggs. But apparently, yeah, you're right. The eggs, they didn't eat eggs during Lent.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that was the delicacy. It wasn't steak. Wasn't.
Well, I'm sure they stopped eating a lot of things, but eggs was one of them. So they abstained from that. Why, I have no idea, but they did.
But yeah. So when Easter rolls around and Lent's over, they're like, yes, eggs.
Right. Exactly.
We've been saving these boiled eggs for months. Well, actually, probably like 40 days, right? But yeah,
Okay.
Go ahead.
But
Bob.
So did you guys find out the reasoning they started coloring the eggs or anything like that? Did it mention anything in there?
Yeah.
I have a feeling it has to do something with corporations, but
no,
I mean,
no, not at all. In fact, it was part of the tradition to what they would do. So there was a couple of different things. One of the traditions was to color the eggs with red. So they would make it. No, it was to represent the blood of Christ. So they would do red on some of the eggs, and then other people used flowers and things like that, and they would boil the flowers with the eggs, and they would make them different colors to celebrate the beginning of spring. So that's where probably some of the people that are a little bit more strict religiously would be like, see, it's to celebrate spring. They forgot about Christ. And it's like, no, they didn't. It still had a lot to do with their traditional religion stuff.
I think it's kind of, you sounded like a pirate right there, but I'll let Derek talk now.
Yeah. Gar, Scott. But the more interesting thing, the more interesting information I found was about the Easter Bunny, because I thought, it started in the Germans, the Easter hare, but why? Why, Scott, do we have a bunny? And apparently, bunnies represent fertility, and then they kind of just correlated that with the Virgin Mary, being fertile with Jesus, I guess.
Well, actually, you're forgetting why. Listen, so I remember this too. I'm so glad we read the same.
I didn't know bunnies
article.
like. That's okay.
So what
bunnies
really
are fertile.
happens is
they bang a lot.
Yes, bunnies and hares make lots of babies, and the female bunny or hare can also, while they're pregnant, become pregnant again, and not through intercourse, if that's what rabbits do. I don't know if rabbits have intercourse, but
yes,
they can have another pregnancy happen during the pregnancy that they have. So they connected that to being like virgin birth. So
I didn't even know that today, and I don't even know how the German Lutherans were able to figure that out. They're crazy,
the funny
virgin rabbits.
It's actually a stereotype that rabbits hump like crazy. Because I know people that breed rabbits, and it's very difficult to get rabbits to have intercourse. So as much as people always say, breed like rabbits or whatever like rabbits, it's very difficult for rabbits to actually get together and do it. But as you said, if a rabbit can get impregnated while being pregnant, that's probably more where the stereotype comes from.
Yeah,
I just want to protect rabbits,
Man, this show... This is kind of crazy. Bob's like protecting their
dignity.
He's like, hey, just so you guys know, not all rabbits are whores, okay?
It's actually a common misconception that rabbits have a lot of sex. They're actually quite prudish. Not tonight, Roger. I've got a headache.
Oh my gosh. See, this is where it goes off the rails. Go ahead, Bob.
The connection with eggs is very strange. I always thought that was just kind of funny. Same thing. A comedian did a take on that with the same thing with Christmas. Some drunk guy just went outside and cut down a tree. I think it was Jim Gaffigan cut down a tree, and he's like, I cut down the tree for Jesus. Now let me drag it inside and put stuff on it. It's kind of just one of those goofy things.
You think it would be, but it's actually, again, I know I've heard a story where people talk about why the Christmas tree is around, and it's it has something to do with Jesus in a strange way, but yes.
I've been studying a lot of Christmas, And this ain't the Christmas episode
studying
on
Christmas.
Well, hey, there's a lot of history on Christmas, but I think the Christmas tree was like a German Yule thing. So we're back to the crazy Germans with their Easter bunnies and their Christmas trees and their Yule logs. And
so the crazy part is, why did America pick up on so many of the Germans' traditions? I'm glad
everybody immigrated.
I'm glad they didn't do the whole Nazi thing like the Germans did.
True.
Magazines. I'll tell you. I mean, this is Christmassy, but the Christmas tree tradition originated in Germany, and then like early 20th century, late 1800s, Queen of England decided to put a Christmas tree in like Buckingham Palace or wherever the Queen's at.
Yeah, that would be Buckingham Palace. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know when
Buckingham Palace. Yeah.
What about 120 years ago? Was it still Buckingham Palace? I mean, I don't know when it was built.
I like how you say Buckingham, by the way.
Oh, is it supposed to be Buckingham?
It is.
Am I supposed to drop
Buckingham
the H?
Palace, but yeah, but.
Well, anyway. I'm not freaking British. I don't salute with my left hand. All right. Get me off course here. Anyway,
I'm trying to, because you're talking about Christmas.
Well, the Queen put a Christmas tree up in not the White House, Buckingham Palace, and they put it on the cover of like a magazine, New York Daily or something.
And then it took
like
off,
that.
and everybody was like, "Hey, the Queen likes it."
Yeah, and that's the story of Easter.
And that's his story, and he's sticking to it.
So it's called Buckingham Palace since 1850.
There you go.
So I mean, yeah, it could have been a good, correct guess that it hadn't been around. I mean, who knows?
It was an interesting.
It's very modern. I've only seen the inside of it on King Ralph.
Of all the things to choose, King Ralph. Oh my gosh! Isn't that sad that John Goodman did that movie?
That's like his swan song, man.
No, he was actually in. I just watched Patriots Day with Mark Wahlberg. He was in it, and it's skinny John Goodman, by the way. He is like full on healthy looking. He's got that saggy skin, when you're fat and then you get skinny. He looks good, but he's like the chief of police or something. Go ahead, Bob.
It was a very good movie, by the way. I did see that, and I was emotionally changed watching that movie. But John Goodman, I've been a fan of him since Roseanne, way back in the day. And you saw for years and years he was just getting bigger and bigger, and you feel bad, like, dude, I don't know him, but I don't want that guy to die. I loved growing up and all that stuff, and then eventually, he started losing the weight, and I'm like, that's sweet, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's lost a considerable amount of weight a couple of times actually, and he's gained it back, but not as big as he once was. Like when he was on Roseanne, he was pretty big.
He was pretty big.
But he's lost weight a couple of times. But he looks really good right now.
Yeah, they haven't said they didn't say how he lost weight. I've kind of looked at it after I saw how he got so skinny. I don't know if he had a surgery or something, but those
he always does. He always does like diet and exercise. That's just how he does it.
That's awesome.
He was terrible in Evan Almighty. God, what a terrible movie.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah,
was that with the one with the Ark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I've seen a lot of movies lately. It's kind of weird. I don't know what's going on with me. So, I mean, for me to see that Patriot movie, that's kind of like, that's a big thing.
We should be celebrating. You know what?
Have you seen The Big Lebowski yet, though, Bob?
No.
Oh, Bob, come on, man.
My daughter last night, she watched Breakfast Club, which I've seen that one.
Nice.
She was watching Dazed and Confused today.
Nice.
So she's starting to go. She watched Dirty Dancing as well. But I mean,
I like it.
But think about, it is a classic movie, whether you like it or not, Scott. And now she's just asking, what other movies should I see? So we just rattled off a list of movies that she needs to see. And I'm like, well, wait on that one so we can watch it together. Wait on this one so we can watch it together.
I think that we're having an effect on you because we make fun of you. You want to see more movies, so you feel like you know what we're talking about.
No, I don't give a crap what you guys think, but
or maybe he just wants to hang out with his kids, maybe connect with his children.
My wife loves movies, so I'm like, all right, I'll watch a movie, and I've just been starting to watch more movies to bond with my wife.
And that's the true meaning of Easter, everybody.
It's a great way to wrap it up. That was a good little bow right on it. So the only other thing I would say is, if you do celebrate Easter this year, please be careful with your boiling of eggs. There's plenty of information on the internet on how to boil an egg properly. Do that, because nobody wants to get sick from Easter eggs. Okay.
And not only that, when you take the eggs out of the water, most people don't know this, but steam actually burns you worse than flame does. So be careful of the steam when you take the lid off the pot, because it literally will melt your skin off.
If I had that little drop from like NBC when they would tell you stuff that you needed to know, and it goes, the more you know, boo doo doo doo, I would have played that right there, because that was good.
Now,
And I would also say eggs contain a lot of essential amino acids, so it's probably not something you want to give up for Lent. Maybe something a little bit more extravagant like bologna or Spam or filet mignon or something like that. I don't know. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Hey, We're Talking. We have exclusive content on YouTube if you're interested in that. Otherwise, you can check us out and download us at heywe'retalking.com, podbean.com, or search us on iTunes. Hey, We're Talking. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll see you on Wednesday.
what are we going to talk about on Wednesday?
Tech stuff.
Dude, that's a failure. It's supposed to be you were going.
No, he nailed it. He was on
All of
point.
a sudden you're like, tech stuff. Bruh.
No, that was good. That was good. Derek must be working on that on the side.
He did. Mirror, yeah.
That was good. Hey, make sure you guys watch Derek's show on Hey, We're Talking. What's it called again?
Hey, we're playing GeoGuessr.
Yes. Oh,
Look
listen.
for that in our playlist. There's a lot of cool stuff coming to the playlist, so be ready for that. Check them out.
Booyaka show.
Are we still going? I thought we were done.
Now we are.
Okay.